Good afternoon, kings and queens. Finding me family. I know I'm late today, but I really wanted to take some time out for myself today. I was learning about some things about me. So, I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry because I got to be able to take care of me in order to help guide, lead, protect, do whatever it is that my heart has set me to do with Finding Me group. Today, of course, is mantra number 24 because today is June 24th. That's another thing I wanted to tell y'all. I really got to stop rubbing my nose because I was watching some of my videos last night, and I kid you not, every single video I have, you can see me do this. And I guess that's my nervousness because my nose is tingly, itchy, something's there, but it's nothing there. And I only know that because I check every time I get ready to start recording. Doing a video in my room by my window, and you can always hear people talking outside. Anywho, June 24th, mantra number 24. Sometimes your plans don't work the way you want them to, but they definitely work out the way they are intended to. Hashtag muscle up. Now, for the religious people that are there, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, but you know how they say, we make plans and God laughs at us. This is very true for the spirituality people, the universe type of people. Somebody need a belt. The reason why I say this is because sometimes we want things to go the way we want them to go. And we make all these wonderful plans, we prepare all these things, and we do all of these things to help benefit us for the way we want it because we see it a certain way. And I think I've kind of spoke on this before about one of the recent mantras, but it was in a different context. Well, today, all I'm saying is no matter what way it works out, whether it's good or bad, it worked its way out the way it was supposed to. Now, do you have the power to change the way it works out? Yes, because it could be meant to work out in a good way. And you could be fooling with it and messing with it and doing stuff to it that you should not be doing, whatever it is that's being worked out, and it could turn out to be bad if you don't catch hold of it before it gets bad. It could be bad. It could be meant to be bad, and you do something that makes it turn into a positive. There are a lot of things that come into play with this. You have that power to change it to work out the right way. You have that power to make it go bad when it was supposed to be good. It's all about what you do. And that's why I think, and you know what, now that I'm thinking about it, I remember, I told you my nose. I remember when I talked about this because I think I was talking about giving up, and I was like, sometimes you have to give up and just let things work themselves out. That's where this comes into play. You have to know, okay, even though I plan to do this, but something keeps happening where I can't do this, then that's a sign for you to stop. And if you keep going, then you're messing it up. You're making it happen in the wrong way. Your end result, it will be the way you intended it to be because you think that what you're doing is for the best, but what you're actually doing could be for the worst. Or you think that what you're doing is for the worst when it could actually be for the best. When there are signs that are being presented, don't do this, don't do this. Let's say you're trying to go on a trip. And I'm only using a trip as an example because most times this is what happens. We plan to go do something. We plan to go somewhere. And as we're planning to do something and go somewhere, something keeps happening with money. Something keeps happening with the vehicle. Something keeps happening with the paperwork if we're flying, if we're getting on a cruise or getting on a train, a bus, or whatever the case may be, our transportation. Something happens with the transportation, the finances, the paperwork, getting a day off at work, making sure you have a babysitter or taking the children with you. Something is always happening constantly, back to back to back. That means you need to stop and let it happen the way it's supposed to happen. That's what that means. If you're doing something and things are flowing like they should, then that means everything is good. Everything is good. It's supposed to be that way. If you're not doing anything and then things are turning out to be bad, it means that you have not put in that work. So you have to be able to distinguish when you should muscle up and when you should just put the weights down and say, you know what, let me get this burn off because I've been muscling up a little bit too much. Now you're just getting like egotistical. You're being like a control freak and all of those types of things. And I hate to call people names, and I'm not intending to call anyone a name, but I'm letting you know like those types of things are what you could be doing unknowingly, subconsciously. So again, you have to know that it will work itself out the way that it is meant to work itself out. You muscle up. And when I say muscle up, I mean be strong enough to stop. Be strong enough to stop trying to control what's supposed to happen. Let it happen. I too have this issue because I can be honest and tell you there were some things that recently happened in my life, and I was doing my best. I was fighting against the grain. I was pushing. I was staying positive. I'm like, no, this is not going to happen this way because that's not the way it's supposed to be. And I kept going and kept doing. And I can tell you now that for a long time I fought when I should have just let the reins go and let it happen, and things will be better than they were in the first place and than they are now. But I'm not upset because they are turning out for the better because I actually finally stopped. I'm strong enough now to put the weights down and let this muscle burn. Let the pain from my muscles being so tight from constantly lifting and pushing and fighting, I'm letting them, this is my resting period for my exercise, so to speak. So that's what I mean by muscle up. Muscle yourself up mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, to be strong enough to let go and let it work itself out. Be strong enough to say, now I need to pick up the weights and fight again. You have to be able to distinguish what is going on so it works out the way it's supposed to work out, so you're not fighting against it. And I promise you it'll be so much better. You may feel like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. You may say, I can't believe that this is happening. There's something I can do. I'm sorry, my nose itches. But the truth is, you've done all you can do. So let it happen. It's going to work out the way it's supposed to. Just be you and be able to accept the way that it works out. It is Friday.